Right. Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us for another week of market review here at Maxi. I'm Max, and as always, I'm joined with Sid, and we're gonna dive straight into it. It's been a couple weeks since our last video, so it's gonna be fun to kind of like catch up a little bit on what the markets have been doing. So first thing, let's start looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has had a fantastic like couple months. I don't know. It's had a great year. Let's be real. Like at the start of the year when we were looking at the Bitcoin chart, which you see here on the left, we got our bull print on the weekly chart. That was all the way at the start of 2023. Right. And since then, we've been moving up and up and up. And now you can see here, Sid actually has drawn out a few of our targets there. So we're actually, it looks like about halfway to the top of the next target that we're trying to hit here with our breakout for Bitcoin. But
yeah,
big news, I guess, in the since the last time we talked about the ETFs getting approved and stuff last time. That was like basically the major development in cryptocurrency when we last looked at the Bitcoin markets. Since then, those Bitcoin ETFs, the spot ETFs, most notably BlackRock, got involved in that game. Those are out now. Those are trading. Your favorite broker account, you can buy now spot Bitcoin ETFs, and it's been really interesting to see the demand for those. Considering that, as the demand climbs, those brokers or those issuing authorities like BlackRock are buying more Bitcoin off the market to continue to meet that demand. And in the last few weeks here, we've seen the demand for the spot ETFs result in big institutional buying of Bitcoin off of the Bitcoin market at a rate of about 10 to 1 beyond what miners are able to put out in Bitcoin. So lots of the spot ETF interest is driving on-chain purchasing. So very exciting to see that, especially in line with the chart movement here. But
yeah. So I know in terms of the chart, we had some, this was around, we had the big run up to ETF, and then we had some chop. Understandably, things had to cool down.
Little pullback after the day of the news. Pullback. A lot of people being like, "I told you so. I knew it would pull back when the news came out." But here we are, a few weeks later. It's just wait.
Yeah, exactly. And then it was stuck in this range. It took out, the top and the bottom, and then once it broke out, this was a bull flag that we were tracking, and this is the target. So the target is around 60K, close to its last highs, close to its last highs. But
generally speaking, you want to show how to find the target, because I know that that's
so
something you showed me.
So really cool. Say if let me see if I can hide this guy. So if this is a bull flag, right? First you identify if it's just ranging. This is the top and the bottom of the range, and then so what you do is you measure what's called a flagpole, because it literally looks like a flag from where around the bottom to the top of the move.
Oh, from where the move started gaining momentum.
Yeah, gaining momentum.
So kind of where it stopped. So the whole line up to where it kind of stops. Okay, gotcha.
Exactly. So it has to. So it looks like a flagpole, and then what you do is I literally copy this line. All I'm doing is Control-C, Control-V. That's a shortcut. And then I'm extending it beyond the flag,
And that gives us the target range for the move, for the breakout from the flag.
For the breakout. And it's not a guarantee, but most of the time, the probability of it hitting that is very high. In the past, in trading, we've shared targets, and it pretty much
it gives us a really great exit point, because exactly. we see a breakout, we see price action, people want to buy, want to get in on this ride, but it's really hard to know okay, when I buy, when do I sell? This type of analysis gives us okay, if we're buying now, we should be looking to maybe take profit here, at the top of the pole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's usually price after it breaks out, it can drop, retest, and then bounce. So because things, it usually never just goes up in a straight line. So there's always going to be pullbacks and things like that. So so last, so if you look at the stock, which is another indicator that we use apart from our trading buddy indicator. That's our custom indicator. You can see how Bitcoin has just been on an uptrend ever since it signaled bull. It signaled bull around $20,000. That was literally the bottom, see, of the bear market.
Fantastic.
And it's been up. So like so that tells you what the trend is. And then I also use this other indicator called the stock RSI, but then it kind of tells you how much of gas is left in the tank, right? Like,
yeah, like
and this
how much
means
momentum or whatever you want to call it.
Momentum,
Yeah,
exactly.
like how much momentum the move has.
Exactly, and this also indicates that it still has some ways to go before it flatlines. Once it flatlines, then it's kind of losing steam.
Yeah, so when you're looking at that little blue range, you could consider the top of that, outside of that range, as overbought, and then the bottom of it underneath the blue would be oversold.
Yeah, oversold.
So right now we're like halfway through the move, just like with the flagpole.
yeah, actually, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, look at that.
So like we're halfway through the target. We're halfway through the move, but like if you look at the daily chart, sorry, let me scale that. Like we can see that like it's curving, and this is also curving. So I expect a pullback to around where the strength band is. That's our indicator, and it has a strength band. And basically what it means is that price in a bullish trend the band will flip to green color, and it kind of acts as support. So like price usually will try to stay above it or bounce on it in a bullish trend. So even if we have a pullback, I expect it to bounce around here. That's like around 47.5. But I don't know if it's gonna, drop that low, because like looking at the weekly, we have $49,000 is kind of like support.
Yeah, support.
You see this wick right here.
Yep.
So it might just drop a little bit and then bounce, because like long term, it's still up, is what we're saying. So we might have a temporary pullback, but then we expect it to bounce and continue going up.
And even 49 or 50K would potentially still be a bounce on the strength band, because if we start pulling back slowly, then obviously, as the lines are drawn, as the candles are drawn, the band will come up to meet us. And so when you're using our indicator, all you need to do is, like, if you're looking at the daily chart, it's like, okay, making sure we're staying and the days are closing above that daily strength band. Like right here, we're seeing each of these weeks closing. Even when we were pulling back, you see that we found support on the strength band. And
it can wick down, but then like it tends to bounce back up.
Yeah, and then obviously opposite on a bear trend, where we'll push up to the band, and then we'll be rejected and find resistance there. So depending on the color of the band will determine, is the band acting as support or as resistance currently. So
there we go. Exactly. And then if you look at Ethereum, Ethereum has started to move, which is great. It's just been, it's been slower to move, but then now we had a feeling that it's going to take off, because like this is also in a bull flag, and it wicked here, so a little more than halfway through the target.
Oh my!
And so long term, it looks similar to Bitcoin in the sense that its long term is up for sure.
Yeah.
And it's in a bullish trend. We might have a small pullback, maybe, the same way.
This one looks a little less bearish than Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a more rounded top forming, where this is still kind of very jaggedy, and so it almost makes me feel like, Bitcoin is looking more like it wants to pull back, while Ethereum maybe is going to try to keep its momentum up a little.
Exactly. But the stock is like
very overbought.
A little like overbought. So like, to cool this off. I mean, and it's same thing with Bitcoin, so we'll have a pullback, but then we expect a bounce, or for it to stay above the strength band.
Yeah. So I would say, like, one of the main takeaways there then is that, buy the dip is kind of like, that's basically, that's what we're planning to do. And like, that's what we've been saying also in our previous videos for a while now, ever since basically our weekly turned back to
we got the
bullish.
bull signal ever since we had this.
Ever since then,
Just
we were
bull
like,
signal.
hey, this means that buy the dip is back on the menu as a viable strategy to invest into this market. And absolutely, I stand by that today. And we did a
Yeah.
good amount of dip buying last dip. So
Yeah, and it's worked out great.
we're
I mean,
sitting very
Bitcoin,
pretty.
we're up so much. Like
It
Bitcoin is
feels,
more than doubled.
yeah,
I
it
don't
feels
know,
good to be able to
since
like, to feel like
yeah.
buying the dip is actually going to like, it's coming back. And so, yeah,
Right.
that's
In
a
a bull
big,
market, it absolutely works.
yeah. So it's great. It's great. I'm excited to be buying the dips again. And, it's
And
really fun to
then
see the adoption kind of side of the, centralized finance world with the whole spot ETFs starting to pick up interest and seeing that, the scale of that interest is pretty epic. I have to admit, like I didn't expect retail and other investors to be quite as excited about a spot ETF because I think maybe because I'm so close to Bitcoin, I don't think it's very difficult to buy Bitcoin without an ETF. So
right,
obviously, I'm a little
we're
bit blinded by my tech savvy here.
reasoning as to like
Yeah, like
why do you need an ETF? We
I
would
would
just
prefer, and we at
directly buy
Maxi
Bitcoin.
prefer, you would buy your own assets and hold them yourself, not only because of security reasons, but also because there's opportunities to use those assets to participate in, money making strategies beyond what you can do at your broker. But
Mhm.
whatever anyone's comfortable with is what they should stick to. And it's really exciting to see, a lot of this kind of like interest, like the
Right,
buying
right, right.
power. And of course, the last kind of like thing to touch on is that there is a halving event coming up for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's
Yeah,
emissions, the amount of new Bitcoins entering the system will be cut in half end of April. And like I said, currently the spot ETFs are buying more than 10 times the amount of Bitcoin that's currently being mined. So you could then, transitive property that to 20 times if that buy pressure
yeah,
stays consistent. So let's see. But
yeah.
until then, the stock market's
So,
also
so
been
the
moving.
guess is, yeah. So the guess is like price probably keeps, in an uptrend till the halving happens, and then probably we get another pullback, reset, cool off. Maybe we just range. Usually after the halving, like price just ranges for months, and then we start the parabolic sort of like next
Yeah.
the blow. The fun part, the roller
That's the
coaster.
like big thing to like look forward to
Big
now.
thing.
I kind of agree too. So like what we're looking for is continuing the market movement until the halving event, then maybe cooling off, sitting around. We'll see, like kind of
Yeah,
building a base is the kind of
yeah,
concept. Building a
exactly.
base of liquidity for the next, takeoff into the bull
Yeah,
market.
gives
So
you another opportunity to add to your bags, I guess.
exactly. So definitely buy the dip.
Buy the dip, yeah.
And then until
and
then,
stock market, yeah.
yeah, until
So
then, you can always keep up with the stock market. It looks like we've been getting really close to making. We have been making new highs actually on the SPY. You can see here.
yeah, we already did, which we shared. Like we shared this like even last year, where we predicted that like we're probably going to make new highs, which we did. The old cup and handle pattern, it broke
Yes,
out.
the cup and handle. There it is. Now you
Like
can see it kind of
let's
formed.
see if I still
Yeah,
have.
do you have it drawn out? I'm curious how close we are to the target now. Actually, now that you mentioned the
Uh,
cup and handle. Let's
I
see.
don't think I have it right now,
That's
but
over.
I don't think. But it's how you would because I think we shared the whole
Yeah, we
thing. So
walked through
like
how to like look at a cup and handle, but yeah,
so like approximately you take this, that's the base of the cup, and then like
from the base of the handle.
oh sorry,
Oh, it'd go a little
base
lower. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's around here because like this was the handle, and then from there. So it's like yeah,
You'd want
that's like
to
still some more.
delete that one, that first, the blue line to the right, and then copy the one to the left one more time, because I think the one from the right was before you adjusted the
Oh, it
scale.
was like, let's see, then it might have.
Yeah, I'm curious if
Yeah, there
oh,
we
look,
go.
we basically made it to. That's what I was gonna say, because the market looks like it's about to turn more red. That's why I was like, I don't know if we have that kind of room left, but yeah, it looks like we actually made it to the top of the target.
But that's see, that was a handle.
Yeah, that's the handle, and then you can think of that like bowl shaped
right
like
there
chart as the cup.
Like this is a cup and that's a handle. That's what.
So that actually has played out exactly
it broke out
like we were
and it
talking.
hit the target exactly like we said. And you know what? This week or last week, it just that kind of closed bearish. That's not a very bullish candle. This is the weekly chart, and the SRSI. See, it's curling over, overbought. So like we expect a sort of dip. I don't know if it's going to dip all the way here to then bounce, but like it's a possibility.
Yeah, that would be that would be a good like support level too. So last all-time high is definitely going to have a decent amount of liquidity for support. And so if we do now kind of cool off for the coming few weeks and the SPY, that would be kind of the goal here, is like bring the SRSI back down, and you know doing that by bringing the price kind of down and hopefully staying above that support line, which obviously keeps us in a bullish trend long term. But you can see here on the weekly chart, the SRSI does need to cool off. And from a technical standpoint, we've actually played out and hit the target from this last technical analysis trend.
Exactly. So but the last few months or like weeks have been like super bullish. We've been playing a lot of sort of short squeezes. And SMCI, what we have here on the right.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. We played this. Basically, we bought with when we saw a bull signal, and we played SMCI in the past. We shared it if you go back to our older videos.
Yeah, this one's always kind of.
Let's see how much.
This one's always a good moneymaker, I think.
254%. But what's funny is like, and we saw this. This on Reddit. Wall Street Bet.
Yeah, Wall Street Bet was going wild about SMCI this time. They were sleeping on it last time we were trading it, but this time they were on it. But
they were on it, but this is insane. This is when like, this is not trading. This is gambling, because they like, look at this. This guy, like, he buys calls when it was $1,000. That's basically the top. Exactly the top. And now he's down like 70K, or at least he was. God knows how many days back this was, but like, I don't know.
Oh, man.
But like more than 70K probably right now. But yeah, he bought exactly the top. Now our indicator caught the bottom and it said bear right at the top. So I mean, and the SRSI was like flatlined, so I would
flatlining for a month. I would have been scared to buy into this like halfway through that move
selling around here.
That's actually what I like. So we like so was saying, we bought in like about after we saw the bull print there. I started selling out when I hit 100% profit, and then I sold some more sold some more at 100, 180, and then 230 was the last. I sold the rest of it. So
and then we exited once we saw the signal. We exited completely, right at the top.
It played, I think I ended up 130 or something was really close to the top, and I think I exited the very last of my position for like 170%, so a little bit lower again on the way down. When we got the bear confirmation, I was like,
right, because you like, that's the thing, you stagger it
exactly
on the way up and on the way down.
It's also I started.
Now we're out.
It's also I started selling at 100%. It was like, there is like, let's not get greedy. I don't want to end up like this guy and lose my whole stack in one trade. Like, there's no reason to.
Yeah, and mind you, this is not on options. This is just a profit that we made on just plain buying spot.
That's
SMCI.
True. It should be noted that this guy in the screenshot here is also
doing options.
He's trading not just options, but zero FTD options. Like those are like 1 day options.
Super risky.
Either you're right or you're wrong, and you're finished. Like at the end of the day. So
completely.
It's very much gambling.
Please don't be like this. Just use our indicator; it helps.
And if you don't, don't understand the derivative market, or honestly, put it this way: there's nothing wrong with gambling. Just know that you're gambling. So, don't get into stuff that you think is an investment while you're gambling. It's totally okay to gamble. I like to gamble; it's fun, but.
Yeah, so look at exactly.
Like I wouldn't do it with my whole portfolio, but
Well, some people, because like he's saying, things seemed risk averse with the steady price movements. No,
absolutely not.
This is a parabola. Like, look at it, and it's gonna like break at some point.
Yeah,
and it looked top clearly. This clearly looked top. Like, why would you?
It looks very topped. I don't know.
Sorry, dude.
That's just like, I don't know. The whole thing that I always think
That's
of
gambling.
when I see a price or any token or any asset or any stock that's climbing up steadily, immediately my thought is, oh, there must be an awful lot of pressure on the other side of this building up, waiting to
Mm-hmm.
push that shit right back down. Like,
Yeah.
because these markets aren't a one-dimensional or one-directional thing. There is a dynamic between buyers and sellers, short sellers, bears, bulls, all that stuff. And when something is moving up 250% in the course of like
Yep.
2 months, you can bet your ass there's going to be pressure on the opposite end of that equation looking to
It has
push
to
it back
cool
down.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there isn't like steady growth. Like that's nuts. That's yeah. So let's not rag on this guy too bad, but you know,
Yeah.
let's.
But we've been playing it. I mean, our members, we caught the move, and we're happy to have sold.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
We're gonna look for more opportunities like this in the coming
Exactly.
weeks.
So
you
we're
want to
looking.
wrap up? Like,
Yeah, since we're looking for like the SPY and the QQQ, kind of like the stock markets to cool off a little bit. That doesn't mean that these opportunities for short squeezes go away. It's actually kind of the opposite of that. As the like general market sentiment moves down, some of the smaller caps that have been already oversold and over leveraged short tend to have explosive plays. So we are always on the look on that. We're playing a few of them currently in our Discord. So once those plays kind of finish and we can show you what the whole trajectory was, like we're doing right now with SMCI, we'll obviously share those as well. Unless you're already in the Discord where you obviously know what we're already trading. And if you'd like to, come over to maxi.io, sign up for a membership. It's free for the first month. You can jump into our Discord, dive into all this stuff we're talking about. And if you like it, we'd love to have you stick around. If not, hey, it's no risk to try it out. So we really appreciate you doing that. And then, of course, the last thing that we're always keeping an eye out is this crypto market. And with the crypto market kind of bulls returning, you're seeing the chart moving up and up and up, and more and more media coverage, favorable kind of like people talking about it again. It's exciting to kind of be in that space, and I guess to have been in that space since the beginning, and participate here with the buying the dip strategy and calling out, like even in our Discord again. That was like a few weeks ago when we had that buy opportunity where it's like, oh, we did buy the last dip. It wasn't like
we actually bought at 38K. We bought at this wick.
That wick down, yeah. And it wasn't like we're secretly buying the dip and like not telling people. We're posting about it in the Discord. It's like, hey, this is the target to buy. Yeah. And yeah, so like I mentioned it. I even like hit up a few people in DMs who I noticed that didn't like recognize the post. I was like, hey, just so you know, you should buy right now. And and the people who did were really happy, and the people who didn't had their reasons not to. And I think everyone's happy with their own decisions.
Some people are like, "Oh, I missed the last one."
Some people, yeah. Some people are now,
we're expecting.
Yeah. So again, and then even with that, it's like that good discipline as well to be like, "Oh, you missed the last one. Don't just throw it all in when everything's when we just hit $1,000 and like the price is steadily rising." So it seems like no. Like, that's insane. So let's just
no SMCI. Yeah.
We can always wait. There is, time is on your side. It's not like, I know when you're watching a chart, especially at low time frame, it's easy to be like, oh, I missed it. And like, now it's going to never come and hit this price again. You got to just get over that kind of like mentality and not trade with those emotions attached, make a plan and stick to it because we're investors and investors have a plan. So if any of this kind of stuff is up your alley and you're interested, we'd love to have you join us as members, hear what you like to trade, hear what kind of things you're interested in. Maybe you have some weird deep cut tokens or stocks or like strategies that you like to, pursue. We'd love to hear about them, and we'd love to like give our 2 cents as well. So hopefully we'd see you in the Discord. Come on over to maxi.io and sign up, and we'll be happy to see you. Until next video, I'm Max, and this is Sid, and we're gonna see you next time. Buy the dip, guys.